FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
There was a regime in power in Nashville that realized that to get Help Me Make It Through the Night of the Chris Christopherson, they had to leave him alone and let him write The Silver-Tongued Devil and I. And they basically, we were a night shift. They gave us money, not very much money. My first draw was $75 a week. And then it got up to the end of the deal, $150 a week. I thought it was, I wouldn't work a day job. My wife would tell me that I needed to get a job. I was like, what are you talking about? I make $150 a week writing songs. I'm not getting a fucking job. And it was like, it was a place you could go and people would pay you just to write songs. It was like, it was subsidy. But they hoped that they could sort of trick us into writing what they wanted us to write, and that we'd write it at a higher level than somebody that was just, trying to do it by rote. And we thought that we could, fool them and get a chance to make a record, ourselves. And they would do that. They'd throw us that bone. It took me a long time to get a record deal, but Guy made records. Townes' records were always on independent labels. That was a little different.
Why did Townes have so little public recognition, success?
It's his own fault. He shot himself in the foot. He had really good aim. His foot was right there.
And lots of guns.
Yeah, the idea that Townes was a misunderstood genius. Everybody, I don't know a songwriter that worked during the time that Townes was on the planet that didn't think he was one of the best songwriters in the world. I'm famous for, I was asked for a quote for a sticker for a Townes record that came out in the 80s, and I said, Townes Van Zandt's the best songwriter in the world, and I'll stand on Bob Dylan's coffee table in my cowboy boots and say that. And and Townes heard it, and he said, well, that's really nice what you said, but I met Bob's bodyguards, and I don't think you ought to try that. And later I met Bob Dylan. He only had one bodyguard, and he didn't look all that tough. But it wasn't that I thought that Townes was better than Bob Dylan. I just knew that Townes really needed the help, and he.